Dave Chappelle, the American stand-up comedian who has received numerous awards including the Emmys, has now landed himself in trouble. We've witnessed many comedians getting in trouble due to their jokes, and on multiple occasions, they had to apologize to the masses. Is it fair for comedians to get blamed for jokes? What kind of jokes did Dave Chappelle make that landed him in trouble, and what will happen to the comedian's career? Subscribe to our channel and keep watching the video until the end to find out the entire Netflix drama. The start of the controversy. The comedian is called a genius and his jokes have always made people laugh out loud. But there is one thing about him that the comedian loves, and it's when people get mad. Throughout his career, he's delivered jokes that have audiences offended, and he's always spoken the untold truth. And his new Netflix special, named The Closer, is no different. During the special, he explored all lengths of his strained relationship with the LGBTQ community. As the show went on, they clarified some of the color-related jokes he has spoken over the years, and he's added some new unflinching, hard-hitting jokes, which unfortunately landed in trouble. The special that premiered on 5th October received immense backlash and criticism from the LGBTQ and transgender community. Both the communities started to pressurize Netflix on social media to remove the show.
Mad at me, lesbians get mad at me, but I'm gonna tell you right now, and this is true. These transgenders, these want me dead.
The Netflix co-chief executive named Ted Sarandos came to the comedian's rescue. He vowed to leave the content no matter the amount of criticism the platform receives on social media. None of the controversies and backlash stopped the show from doing well. It ranked in the 3rd position on the top 10 list of Netflix in the USA. The comedian has made such jokes in the past as well, so what stood out this time that he's received so much criticism? So during the set, the comedian compared himself to being trans like Rachel Dolezal and pretended to be of a different race. He imagined what would happen if one day he woke up and decided to be Chinese, or instead what would happen if LeBron James decided to be a woman so that he could dominate the WNBA. The Closer special got more and more obsessed with the topic as he goes in and out of it during the entire 70-minute show. During the set, he called himself transphobic several times, which he was supposedly joking about. David also said that he learned about the word and started using it, and people called him out for it, making anti-trans jokes, which were in the set that was performed about 16 years ago. David claimed that most people hear only certain bits from my show and start getting angry at me for saying such things. David explained that the target of the jokes is not the LGBTQ community or the trans community, but he wants to insinuate the white people. The jokes around how white people still try to oppress white people. At one point during the show, he said that even the gay people are minorities until they become white people. Fans noticed that during the show he kept on poking the trans people. He even expressed his discomfort when he got tricked into calling trans women beautiful. The comedian even went to lengths of comparing trans women's private parts to plant-based meat. The comedian said he aligns himself with the Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling and proceeded to call himself Team TERF, where he stated gender is a fact. At the end of the set, he pledged that people who stop talking about the LGBTQ community, and they all should. He spoke in the end that I'm done talking about it, but will all of your community, with humility, please stop punching my people down? The aftermath of the special. Trans activists said that Chappelle is unfair towards black people and is trying to frame a debate between black rights versus trans rights. They further argued that Chappelle even went to the lengths to misstate J.K. Rowling's transphobic comment. David Jones, the executive director of the National Black Justice, wrote a deadline for the streaming platform. It stated that 2021 has been the deadliest year for transgender people in the USA. The majority are black trans, and Netflix should know better than this. When you perpetuate transphobia, it also perpetuates violence towards them. One fan commented saying, as a trans woman, I have usually defended Dave Chappelle specials because I think they're hilarious, and the jokes about trans women never before felt intentionally malicious. But The Closer changed my mind on that. The special felt so lazy and disingenuous that I am disappointed. Another fan wrote that I hate the fact that David Chappelle has talked about the disparities between the gay struggle and the black struggle, like black people just don't exist. Another comment went like Dave Chappelle is too much, his misdirection is crazy and takes you on a storyline throughout the whole special, and in the end makes you see the bigger picture while he is making jokes, and this is completely crazy. One fan said David Chappelle's Netflix special is not for the brittle ears, but you have to hear him out until the end. Some powerful and artful storytelling and some lines were killer. Some celebrities also gave their views on how social media started trending to cancel the comedian. One of them was the famous comedian Kevin Hart, who defended him against it. Kevin said during an interview that he was at the Comedy Cellar and David walked into the room. He said that David was on stage for about 20 minutes. He and Chris were sitting and hearing his set. Kevin, there was a point where he looked at Chris and then at his sets, and they tried to bail. One of Netflix's showrunner for this series, Jacqueline Moore, said that she had told her trans story on Netflix. It was during Pride Week. It is a network that has been my home and I have loved working here. She added, I won't work with them as long as they continue to put out and try to profit from blatantly and dangerously promoting the transphobic content. The comedian speaks on the controversy. Recently, the comedian posted on Instagram that he wants to meet the members of the transgender community and also invited the viewers to decide whether he had been cancelled or not. All of this came out for a small protest that happened outside the Netflix headquarters in Los Angeles. Amid the criticism, David spoke saying, there have been rumors that I was invited to speak to the transgender employees who work at Netflix, and I refused. He denied all the allegations, saying that is not true. If he was invited, he would have gone. Although the comedian was confused about what were they speaking about, he said, you wanted a safe environment for employees at Netflix. Then I guess I'm the only one who cannot go to the office anymore. David said to the transgender community that he is more than willing to give you an audience, but you cannot summon me. The comedian spoke firmly that he will not bend towards anyone's demands. He also denied being in any kind of conflict with the LGBTQ community. The comedian said that the conflict has nothing to do with them. It is all about the corporate interests and what I can say and cannot say. Due to the criticism on the special, the comedian was disinvited from showing his latest documentary named Untitled at various film festivals. In this situation, he said, today, not a film company or a movie studio or a film festival is not ready to show my movies. He said to the people to watch his movie and then decide for themselves whether he was cancelled or not. Now the comedian is making the documentary and it's available in 10 cities across the United States. Chappelle even thanked Ted Sarandos and Netflix. He said Ted is the only one who has not cancelled me yet. Now we want to know what you think. Do you now understand what kind of joke Dave Chappelle made that landed him in trouble? Let us know in the comments below. And until next time.
Netflix! How dare you do this to your trans employees? How dare you? So let's work on canceling our memberships, right? Divesting from Netflix.
Dave Chappelle doesn't get to suck the light out of this moment. This is a moment where we are coming together in a unified effort. Oh, brilliant woman that.